Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon podcast. My guest today, returning guest, friend of the show, Colleen O'Neill. She is a product integration specialist. Colleen, welcome to the holiday episode of SGM.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
One of the few ladies in tech that is willing to talk NFTs with me. It's a growing sector, a growing industry, I know. So I'm so glad that you came on. Let's kick it off. Let's talk about Beeple. Beeple is most probably, if I talk about NFT artists, one of the most famous one, the one that's work has sold for the most amount of money. So two camps here. Are we either looking at new age masters, the new Da Vinci's, or are we looking at new age money laundering? Which one is it here?
I think it can be money laundering if you're not careful, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't use your head. It's kind of like how crypto was a dark world before, right? Before it was regulated, before there were all these platforms.
Yeah.
I think, make sure you're investing in something that makes sense. If it's too good to be true, it may be too good to be true. But other than that, it's very interesting. I spend a lot of my time on it. I look at new communities, new NFTs, what communities are about and things of that nature.
Yeah, we'll get to that. It's very hard for a layman person, people on the street, to see something like a CryptoPunk selling for millions of dollars and they not think, yeah, this is just money being moved around.
Yeah, as in it's untangible.
Yeah, it's because in your mind it goes, well, what is it? What is this all worth? Is it a bubble? Is it how is the price discovery working? What's your kind of feeling on what it's worth? What is the value of let's say something like a CryptoPunk?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of things are becoming more tangible, right? I think Beeple's most recent piece, he can change what's on it, right? So it is tangible in some aspects. I think other than that, a lot of wallets for NFTs and things of that nature, like they hold your babies, right? Like when you're NFT, you're in NFT, you're like, oh, these are my babies and they're mine and I can show them off. And there's a bunch of hype around it, right? So someone that has a bunch of great NFTs that are known super well within society and culture, people love it, right? And it drives the value up because more people want it.
And some other projects or some other community that you are part of?
Yeah. So Universe 25 is another one. You can look that up on Twitter.
I'm actually just going to Google while we speak. How do you keep track of everything? Because everything is moving so quickly. I don't know if it's like we see new projects popping up literally every day. What is Universe 25 and why should I care?
Yeah. So I think their point of view is interesting, right? And from my product background, I nerd out on a vision, right? And so
I
when
like
you
that.
look up,
I want a t-shirt that says I nerd out on a vision. That would be so cool.
Hey, that's actually a brilliant idea. I love that. I would wear that all the time.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Merch coming soon, 2022. Okay, sorry, I interrupted you.
No worries. So yeah, I think Universe 25 is really interesting. If you look it up, right, they're NFTs. They're looking at a phone. They have tech neck. And they're kind of talking about how we're all on our phones anymore, right? And so the art is intriguing. The artist behind it is great. His artistic value is crazy. I look at his Instagram all the time too to see what he posts. And I think the idea is really interesting. It's the idea of like a tech world, right? And like what we're going to turn into in the future and just how much time we spend on the phone. So they recently minted. They've actually minted everything in their first mint. So I think it was 10,000 NFTs. And they sold out last night, I believe it was, at least 12th. My time.
She said December 12th, we have sold out in 22 hours on the mark. Everything, right. 10,000 NFTs. That's literally insane.
Yeah. And I mean, they built their community, right? I mean, and they did it
and
right.
I think people are resonating with the message of this dystopian future where we are basically becoming, if Elon has his way, becoming like one with a screen. You spoke about your background in tech and you nerd out and stuff. What's stopping Colleen from building her own community and putting it out there and getting people involved? Because that's actually something that I can see you doing.
Yeah, I think for me, I believe in other people's community right now, because I don't, when I think about product, right, I don't know what my value prop would be yet, because to be honest, and a lot of people might feel this way, there's a lot of value props in the NFT community. It's overwhelming, right? And to your point, there are communities everywhere. you know, every time you log in on Twitter, it's like, oh, check this one out. And then sometimes when I dabble into communities, I'll stay for a couple of days and be like, this just doesn't make sense for me, you know? And
this is weird. Yeah.
And I like to go all in. And I think also too, you have to have a pretty good team to build your community completely, unless your value prop is pretty heavy. And so for me, I can't build my own game, right? I just don't have those skills. So I think maybe in the future, I think right now I'm just seeing what happens with the market, buying some NFTs from other communities, and then seeing what shakes out with those and seeing how things shift within the NFT space in the next few months. Yeah,
because months would be like years, right?
Yeah, it seems that way.
And last question before I let you leave. You said you're buying a lot of NFTs. Are you trading NFTs by any chance? Are you buying some, at entry price or base price? I think they call it base price, and then trying to sell them on for a profit? Or isn't that something you're doing?
Yeah. So I have a few NFTs, from Universe 25 right now. And so they call it floor price. So for example, right now.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Floor price.
Yeah,
yes. Sorry. Yeah. It's not base price. It's floor price.
Base. Okay. Base is pretty much the same. Base, floor price, same thing. And so I think for me, I keep an eye on secondary. So it's cnft.io that has secondary NFTs for sale. And so for example, Universe 25 recently minted at 42 ADA. And then if you see on secondary, sometimes if you're there really often, you can catch something that's just been posted that's under floor price, right? Which is crazy. So then we call it sweeping the floor, right? Ooh. So right now, because they're sold out, a lot of us sweep the floor. So if someone's going to list something at 36 ADA and something sold out because they just don't necessarily know any better, then we'll sweep it. So I'll buy secondary. I don't do one-to-one trades just because right now there's no way to really trust the other person on the end of it, in my opinion. And so I'll only use cnft.io. There's another one called JPEG too.
Okay. But ironic. Ironic.
Yeah. Right.
What is what platform are you the most bullish on? Talking about, when we've talked about Cardano now, but I mean, there's Solana, it's all layer 2 Ethereum, platforms. What platform are you most bullish about in the long term?
Yeah, I think for NFTs, definitely Cardano.
Just because of the cost.
Yeah, I just, everything I know and everything that my mentor has taught me has been Cardano.
Yes.
And so I don't know a ton about outside of that, but I have heard Ethereum, the taxes and fees are a lot higher.
Yeah, the gas fees are insane.
Yeah. And so I just haven't really dabbled in that. And I think there's so many different communities in CNFT that makes the most sense for me personally.
That's awesome. Colleen, thank you so much for joining us. If the listeners want to catch up with you, where is the best place to catch Colleen? What are some handles in the community that you use? So if your fellow NFT collectors want to find you, I'm assuming they can.
Yes. I think one of the things that I like about the communities is I don't have to be myself all the
Oh
time.
my word! Okay, let's
yeah, I know.
let's
I'm
keep
one
that
of
part.
those.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's keep that part. Let's just say connect with Colleen on LinkedIn.
But other than that, I think for now, because I'm switching positions, on LinkedIn is the best way to find me.
Colleen, thank you so much for joining this SGM holiday special about NFTs. To our listeners, peace, love, prosperity, and blessings of the season. Till next time. Cheers.